Hello?
Hello,
How's it going?
it's going good. What about you?
Doing all right.
Doing alright, nice, good to hear. Well, let's just start with going over the form. Is that sounds good with you?
Yep.
Battery low.
Okay, perfect. And how can I call you, by the way? Is that Dakota? That's what you mentioned?
Yeah, Dakota, Coda, either way works.
Okay, well, nice to meet you, Dakota, and we can just start with going over your goals. You can call me Gefest, by the way, and let's just start to see what we want to work on first. What you mentioned in the form so far, you expect some insight and clarity, what you need to improve on. That makes sense. You learned some goals currently, you would like to be able to reach GM. That is possible. I think after working with multiple students, we've been able to. It's not as hard to do now. Currently in Marvel Rivals, there's a lot of return into just once you implement the concepts. I think it's going to be quite easy to improve on. And you think that you need to work on one guard. Okay, so it's mainly one guard, and you feel like one key thing you miss is damage. You're not saying that you're perfect at making space or anything, but definitely feel that you should be outputting more damage. Okay, can you elaborate on that? Why do you feel like the damage is the problem?
Um, well, I feel like most games, I'm usually like the third damage among all the Vanguard players, or if both teams just have one tank, I'm usually like second. I just feel like I have a pretty low damage output usually, but I usually have really high damage blocked.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. This also depends on what kind of Vanguard you're playing. Definitely, some of the Vanguards are more damage oriented, some of them are less, where we just absorb pressure. But yeah, that makes total sense. You mentioned that you play pretty much every Vanguard except of a few, and those being Thor, Venom, and Hulk. So this is how it looks like. You just swap between those Vanguards currently.
Yeah, for the most part, I think mostly I play Strange.
Okay.
I am trying to play more Magneto. The problem is I don't have the greatest aim already, and I don't know, Magneto's projectile just feels strange to me. Like I feel like I
Hmm.
miss it more than every other character, and I feel like you like really need to hit your shots with Magneto. Like that's pretty important. So I do play him when I'm solo tanking, but there's also times where I just feel like I'm definitely not getting the value I should out of him.
I see. I see. So it's mostly Strange and Mag right now. Those two.
Yeah, mostly Strange and Mag. If I'm able to play off tank, like if someone's already playing a Strange or Mag, I like to go Thing. I feel like in my elo in like Plat Diamond, there's so many people playing Panther, so many people playing Dive, and nobody in this elo like looks behind them and helps the supports. So I'll just lock in Thing and like just neutralize everyone.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Just something I want to say right away, especially if your goal is to EGM, there are definitely some pros and cons when you have this kind of wide hero pool. What do you think are those, actually? If you have this wide hero pool, if you're trying to play multiple characters, what do you think?
So I actually come from League of Legends. I play a lot of League. I'm really high ranked in League.
Hmm?
And I would always tell people to keep their champion pool really low, like a
Yeah.
small amount, or at least keep them in the same like category of characters, so you have the
Hmm.
same goal with your characters.
Exactly. So see, this is kind of the same problem in this game, and maybe if you also got some playtime in the games like Overwatch, this has also been the thing. I've been coaching
Right.
Overwatch for multiple years and been playing that game as well. That is something you want to keep in mind. Ideally, I highly suggest if you can limit your pool to 2 3 characters, that is fine. It's understandable that you want to be adaptable depending on situation, but mainly how we want to look at it. There are 3 situations in the game. This is where you might need some sort of brawl tank. There's one. Another is where we need some sort of poke oriented tank, and another is dive. Basically, this is how you can be suitable in any situation, to be honest. This is how people usually they have the best success with. So we have this well-rounded hero pool, but at the same time we're not just spread too thin. Yeah, we're not playing too many characters, because otherwise you have to learn a lot of micros. It's also going to be difficult to just time-wise. It's not possible to not. It's possible to climb, but it's just going to be more difficult. Usually, the
Right.
time wise. Okay, in reality, I even see the players get better result if they just want to tweak the character as well, especially in this game now. But obviously, that bans, so we'll also need to have some backup options as well based on that. But that's why having 2-3 is usually enough as well. Those characters will not be banned, all of those at least. So far, your hero pool looks like that you have Strange, which can be fine in brawl scenarios and in poke. Sometimes Mag is definitely good in poke. I would only suggest if you can potentially add some sort of dive character. That could be Hulk, Captain America, Venom, even Thor can also be this category. A lot of people view Thor as a brawl tank, but to be honest with you, and this is from my experience as a player and also as a coach as well, any tank who has decent amount of mobility, they can be suitable in dive as well. And Thor does have a lot of mobility. And that is something we can take advantage of for that reason. So one of those characters, really. That's something what I would suggest for the launcher, at least. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna mention in the notes, try to add dive character. What do you think, what kind of character you would like to add, of course, if you would like to add any?
Honestly, I wish that I could play Captain America well because I hate playing against Captain America. I absolutely hate playing against him.
Yeah.
It's not that he's necessarily strong. He's like a mosquito that you can't kill. Like he's just so annoying.
This is true, this is true. Okay. Yeah, there are definitely really difficult times when they just survive in the backline constantly and diverting the attention this way. Okay, so maybe that is something what you can do long term. Make sure you just play Max, Strange, Cap, see how that goes, and then based on that, we can also maybe adapt. You can have your cure pool this way so it's dynamic. Maybe when we gonna be at the high rank, a lot of people they would swap their character, just go towards another character based off this pool. Yeah, dive, brawl, poke character. It's possible, but make sure it's consistent. It's not just we swapping because
Right.
our team needs help usually, or because we're trying to counter something. So either you look at the situation, what you're in, what kind of comp you run, what kind of comp they run, and what kind of map they on, and you pick the most suitable character. And you always want to find out as a tank is how, first of all, do your own pressure, so this way you can peel for your team indirectly. This is what a lot of people don't get, I think, especially if they're new at this game. They're trying to maybe stay with their support a little bit too much. They try to exactly peel support by being directly with them, but a lot of times we can be setting up our own pressures. So this is the thing. Okay, so if we want to go over this hero pool, what kind of character we want to look into today then? Doctor Strange, Magneto, Cap, what do you prefer?
I think Doctor Strange is probably my favorite and probably who I'm best at. And that's partially why I think that I lack a bit of damage. I know Strange is a pretty high damage Vanguard, or he can
Yes.
be. I think that the problem is, honestly, there are a lot of times where I don't get enough usage out of my E, the like release.
Okay.
Usually I'm only hitting one or two people with it, and also I don't. Sometimes I'm kind of afraid to go to 100. I know the heal cut isn't a lot, but I'm solo tanking a lot, and there's so
Hmm.
many punishers in this rank. So I feel like whenever I get heal cut, it's like it's almost a death every time.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, you definitely want to be able to release that ability. I think this is highly depends on two factors: your positioning, maybe it's your timing as well. Are we able to engage together with our team and build this E based of that, and then try to follow up together in the same area? Okay, we can take a look. We can take a look then. Let's do Doctor Strange. So that replay you sent me, is it you playing Doctor Strange in there?
Um, it's either Strange or Magneto. I think I might have played both in that replay.
Okay, okay.
Um, is
Then
there a way for me to search the replay real quick?
it's okay. We probably can also do two. If we, I usually suggest focusing on one character per session is the best, because we
I
wanna
gotcha.
keep it clear and concise, so we don't just pay attention to too many variables, too many
Right.
details. Okay, I'm just gonna screen share, and yeah, obviously, if there gonna be any questions as well during this replay review, you can ask me those. Is there anything else you want to add besides what you mentioned in the form so far?
I think the form is pretty accurate. I have played a lot of Overwatch
Oh, that's
back in the
good.
day, like when it was in its prime. But I played with 6v6, like how Rivals is, and I was always an off tank player. I basically like only play Diva,
Okay.
and so for me, I'm not used to playing like main tank because normally I also play League of Legends, like I said, and that's not like the concept of a main tank isn't really a thing. So I've been trying to learn a lot on what to do. Oh, it looks like I was on Penny in this. Penny's actually
Yeah.
my most played
Hmm.
Vanguard, but I've started to not play her now recently.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any of the strange mag in this case then?
Yes. Yeah, I should. I'm also. Oh, I might have only played Penny for a little bit in this, actually.
Yeah, I can take a
I might have
look.
just played her on defense.
Yeah, I can take a look. So it's defense, this is us, and then we are on attack. I think it's definitely gonna be hotter on attack, but okay. Seems that we're still on Penny there. Well, let's see. Okay,
Okay, so
this is
I stay on.
Penny. This
Okay.
is still.
Oh, I'll go back to Strange. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's the best if we just go with the strange. If you have any other.
Okay. Um, the problem is I usually am playing like two. I usually do play both Mag and Strange in most games.
That's okay. We can just pay attention to the strange part, to be honest. Unless you really want me to cover the Magneto Drill, but then we're gonna keep it around the same principles. I usually like to focus on 1, 2 themes, kind of go over some of the 2, 3 concepts within the theme, and then based off that we can build there. We can also do the live session as well, try to apply some of those too. But yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Um, I'm looking. I don't. I think this replay might just be the best. I'm not sure if I have. Um, hang on.
Yeah, take your time.
I was logged into the wrong account, so I couldn't see.
That's okay,
Okay.
that's okay. There's also a system. If we can find you on the leaderboard or something, just type in your name. They are gonna be all your replays too. Might require to update it, but it's also all right.
Okay, the game is launching. I had to change accounts. I
Mhm.
think that I stopped playing Penny because I feel like I don't know. Penny's really strong, but also she gets banned a lot, and then I don't. She has like such a unique playstyle. I feel like I wasn't learning the game. I was just learning Penny, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's understandable for sure. She is quite good if you're able to use enclosed spaces on the map, kind of bait the enemy this way, try to just abuse the short range areas a lot. Obviously, the point control is also decent for her, but
Yeah, I get
yeah.
so many like cheesy picks off of mines on webs. People just walk on them in this rank. Like they don't realize that that web means there's like 5 mines there and they're about to die.
Oh, yeah. Understandable, understandable. I actually went on the leaderboard. I see that it's been at least one Doctor Strange 2 weeks ago. There have been a bunch of support you played, Jeff, Inviswoman, Penny. Yeah, at least on this account, from what I see.
Jeff and no, which account are you looking at?
Maybe it's not us, not sure. I just typed in now your name.
Oh no, I'm the other Penny. I was Doctor Strange for most of the game in this
Oh,
replay.
okay, it's in.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was only
okay.
Penny. I was only Penny on defense for like the first point.
Okay,
So that's
then,
why I
then
think
we
this
got
replay is
get
so
your
good.
name. Okay, I thought that is us.
Yeah. No,
Because
no.
Because just in case, we could also watch the parts partially this one if we did play Doctor Strange there. But yeah, you can also send me
Yeah,
another
I
one.
played Strange. I played Strange almost all this game. I just played Penny on the first point on, yeah, right here. This is my favorite spot to play Penny. So
Okay.
if she's open, I'll play her here.
Understandable. Okay, we can also watch this part, whatever you prefer. We can watch the attack here as well. What do you want to do?
Yeah, yeah. We'll watch the attack as well.
Okay, so let's start with this one. Let's just go back maybe a little bit. Maybe let's talk about the damage output. Well, you mentioned that it's hard for you to get value with your E sometimes, stuff like that. So I'm just curious, what is your thought process on the tank in general in terms of your positioning? Let's start with that. How would you like to position usually on Doctor Strange?
When I play Strange, I usually position pretty aggressively because I basically have 2 health pools. So I like to be pretty far forward. Um, basically, I like to brawl with him. I like to be in the
Yes.
face of the enemy tanks. Although sometimes against Emma Frost, that's kind of hard because she can just throw you away like into her team.
Yes.
But I like to brawl with him a lot.
This is nice. Okay, I think this is exactly where the Strange is going to be really good. You, for the most part, really good brawl tank, so we want to get in those positions as much as possible and try to take advantage of UE. What about your teleport? How do you usually use that? Because it's one of the repositioning tools as well. What do you think?
So my teleport I use a lot on I don't remember the name of the map, but you know the map where there's like a bunch of like venom webs you can shoot
Oh,
and like go
yeah.
across the
Yeah, I
yeah,
got it. Okay.
that one I always teleport first point because going through that first chokehold is like impossible.
Okay.
But other than that specific situation, usually if I die and I like press tab and see maybe like another person died and someone's low, I might portal us back so we can all get there.
Okay.
I feel like it's hard for me to give an exact like time I'll do it because it's kind of situational on whether like my teleport is going to be useful or not.
Hmm. What do you think about this map? What do you think about TPing on this map initially?
I think TPing here can be kind of good. Honestly, maybe we wait. Yeah, maybe we should have. Most of our team, aside from the Squirrel Girl, is pretty safe when we teleport.
Okay.
I usually like to teleport when we have Brawl because otherwise, like if we have I don't know Squirrel Girl, I guess for example, she can just easily get picked off if the enemy team is paying attention.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Let's say we just okay. I'm trying to think because teleport is really useful for you in general, but it's also useful for your team. But the question is,
Right.
what's gonna be higher value exactly for you? Are we what are we gonna be using teleport for if we not
Oh,
tipping in,
okay.
maybe not setting up ourselves or our team, yeah, depending on the situation. What is that?
So I do like to use
Mhm.
I like to use my teleport sometimes with my ult. If I teleport above them, I can ult and either slow fall if I need to or like just drop down and ult from above them. It's
Yeah.
really hard for them to react to that.
Yeah, this is also good. This is also good. To be honest, a lot of the tanking, this always feels that you definitely need the follow up from your team, but I want to say 100% the most important thing for you is to exactly be able to effectively brawl, like you said. Yeah? And the big thing there to just being able to set up, I call those power positions. First off, you just
Right.
get into positions where you have more options. So, what kind of positions are those typically? For example, here we can have this high ground as well. Why this is really good because we able to set up multiple angles on the point, and this way you can choose what angle you decide to brawl later on. You have multiple options. So it's kind of usually regardless if your team is falling up or not, you still get an extra bit of advantage this way, even though nobody is going with you, which ideally, I don't think it's bad for them to try to TP, especially somebody like Squirrel Girl, maybe Cap of America, they can just try to wrap around the other way. But even though they don't, it's still fine to try to control the power positions. This is what I want to say because you want to set up your own pressure, get close. Where a lot of times when we don't do that, for example, if we choose this along sideline, a lot of the times we get poked out before we get in the face of somebody, and we also a lot of times might be outbrawled by some other tanks. For example, this Amethyst, they're actually stronger at brawling face to face, and you mentioned that it might be tough for you to
Yeah.
play into her. But why? Because she do not have any mobility. That's why she's going to be ultimately stronger with all those combos she can hit, but you, on the other hand, you have this opportunity to use your mobility. So I would say try to set up, just try to take power positions and use your mobility tools, whatever you got. Let's just start with maybe your TP. Yeah, especially if we're in the situations where it's hard to break through the choke. I think there was a great example, this Venom map. Yeah, I think it's called Symbiotic something. And you can just break through the choke with the TP. Yeah, use TP to break through the choke is good. And another thing is how you use your shift a lot of times. That's what people don't do. I think a lot of times they kind of hold it as a defensive ability, but you can also use it as a setup initially and just get in the position, the best position possible too, is what I want to say. Yeah, let's just kind of look at this part a little bit. But yeah, it doesn't make sense, this idea about the power positions. I will elaborate on that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, let's watch. Because I do think it might be good to potentially try to do something similar, try to maybe TP in, try to take a little bit more space with that, unless there's a little bit another plan going on. But typically in those ranks, because you want to pay attention to what you control, it's definitely not too bad to start with. Okay, it seems that we're just trying to brawl face-to-face there, just try to make sure we've done some sort of pressure, use your E, maybe once this is possible, okay. Just keep rolling, you also know the mechanics with the shield, it seems like. Just kind of shoot, flick the shield, maybe this depends on situation, but yeah, okay. Seems that your Skull Girl was able to find a pick, okay. Yeah, over pushing a little bit, kind of fighting face to face, and this is what happens a lot. I think at any rank, to be honest, but especially at this rank, people tend to just stuck face to face. But in reality, we could be anywhere on the map. In the way you could be even trying to take this angle here. You can even try to, as we mentioned, even TP there while your team is pushing. It's just the synchronization. This is what matters the most. Okay, let's keep watching. So far, though, just see how is everything, how is the fight is gonna be. Okay, we keep. Okay, I think it's gonna be difficult for now. Your shield is really low. Okay, well, we got this ultimate to stabilize. That's fine. Cloak and Dagger. Okay, probably you might have enough advantage there to build on and win this checkpoint. That is good. Okay, you guys just need to be able to stabilize comfortably. And see, this is what I mean. This entire time, our shift is kind of just sitting there, and obviously sometimes if there's a big advantage like this here, if the ultimate is being used whatsoever, it's fine to just keep playing main, but it's also important to find the areas where you can take some sort of off angle on the map. I'll explain that a little bit more going forward. Okay, so we kind of keep shooting, okay, just throw the penny, sure, penny mines. Fly in, okay, ultimate, that's okay. You guys probably should be able to clear this space. The fight is really, really long, but yeah, it should be fine. Okay, let's keep that. Okay, and this is where it can also start, okay? So, as I mentioned, maybe the first point can definitely take advantage of the TP. Yeah, just try to set up somewhere the power position. But even the second point, if you think about that, where could you go right away? So, it's gonna be easier for you to do the pressure. So, you kind of control some sort of power position. Where could you be? What do you think?
Kind of in the top left or the top right buildings there.
Yeah, one of the possibilities. Yeah, exactly. And this is what I want you to try to do more. So see, the principle behind it is we get in the power position, the best position possible, so it's easy for you to brawl, and then eventually you can kind of drop with your E as well if it's needed. You kind of build, and then you drop with your E, and it's going to be fine. Maybe they push you, you can also E as well. But another thing is, a lot of times you notice that you can take, because of your mobility, you can take vertical off angles in a way. You can not necessarily just being stacked in front of your teammates, especially the fact given that your teammates, they have a lot of mobility, to be honest. So it's completely fine to keep another angle as long as you have good line of sight on them and you also have decent cover. This keeping in mind your abilities as well, if you have enough shield or not. So, for example, I can be here in theory while my team is pushing to here, even that some of them, they might also go with you, and it's possible because you're attacking from multiple places. Let's call this maybe area A, and this is area B, but you're attacking the same area. It can work just fine in theory. Okay, let's just keep looking how the fight is gonna go. Okay, we're just kind of blocking damage. Okay, sure. Then there's Squirrel Girl ultimate. Okay, probably should have enough advantage because you simply have numbers. You also have better spawn there, so it's gonna be okay. I wonder, do you remember the point where you struggled a little bit more?
I don't remember exactly where I struggled.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot recently, so I went over this replay myself. I should have taken notes, is what I should have done, but I've been playing a lot of Rivals recently, so.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So see, okay, even here, we're starting with thinking, what is that vertical off angle I can take while establishing the pressure in the same area which my team is attacking currently? Because you want to take advantage of your E, right? You want to try to hit the E on the squishy as much as possible, because this is how you set up the kills, and your damage output goes higher too. Where could you go right now?
There's that place on the left behind them. There's also there's lots of high ground in this
verticality.
map. Like pretty much every building.
Yeah, exactly. The middle building is really good a lot of times. Yeah, you can literally be sitting here, and because you have your defensive abilities, those allow you to exist. If you ever get pushed, you can always shield. You can always try to additionally use your flight later on, but it's definitely fine to walk in there, just try to take that position. Okay. I want to say, I just want to show you something. This principle, one of the players, they're really good at applying that. It's been a few months ago. I usually show this example, how they use in power positions, okay? It's gonna be exactly the thing you will try to do more on Doctor Strange. Okay, so so this is when it starts. You kind of see them not using the TP. There might be other reasons why. Maybe they're holding the TP to just try to retake the point, but a lot of times you see them trying to fight for power positions no matter what. Why? Because wanna being able to brawl face to face. So see, they instantly going taking advantage of the shift at the power spots. Most importantly, you're pushing the important angles away. But after that, you can set up your own pressure, your own rank. To be honest with you, there are a lot of people playing on the objective, on the main lane in a way. Yeah, kind of League of Legends. You know, there are 3 lanes, and in here it's kind of the same. You can just separate the maps on 3 lanes a lot of times, and you need to take advantage of the side lanes typically, if that's possible, your verticality. So we see them a lot of times. They're trying to challenge those power positions first. Yeah, go on those, use vertical off angle. By the way, this off angle concept, that doesn't make sense what that means.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So off angle is basically a position away from your core. Okay, that's how I would put it. Yeah. Because your core can be somewhere, it can be somewhere at the bottom. Yeah, they can be on the point here. You're already on the off angle, you're just fighting those power spots as much as possible. Okay, this is what the best players are good at. They keep leveraging the position until you have a big advantage. Later on, once you build the E, you typically drop on something, and then you can try to use that. Yeah, of course, there are some other reasons why we can walk on the point. Usually, maybe when it's possible to get a kill, maybe if there's a big advantage because of ultimates you got. But yeah, typically, you want to leverage the power position as much as possible. And for example, this action, the second one, you also see they will do the same. They will try to exactly use power position, walk there, and establish the pressure. Yeah, just build the E, and this pushes enemy away because we're building multiple off angles. So there's gonna be angle A where our team is, and angle B on the right. So this Doctor Strange is forced to look at 2 directions and shield 2 angles, so they will walk back. And this is how you're more effective at controlling space too, when you're not stacked with your team. Okay, this diverts enemy attention as much as possible. Probably familiar with that from League of Legends. You have somebody comes in from a different lane than the other lane that you have to maybe pull back sometimes even, because it's gonna be hard to just sustain. This is the same idea. You have this main lane here, but at the same time, you're kind of using the side a little bit, so they're getting pushed back a little bit more. And once there's a big advantage, for whatever reason, it seems like they got a pick, so they can drop. But later on, again, take the power position as soon as possible. You'll see them once they push the staggers, they try to go up on the power position here. Probably go up on this bridge. Oh yeah, that's what they do. Okay, and we start the pressure from there. And afterwards, we can always drop, not stuck in without team, take angles. Okay, does this example make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it's from
You're
one of
forcing
the...
enemy team to respond to you, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just also for reference, it's one of the really good players. They've been in the pro scene in Overwatch, and they're also pretty good in Morales too, so I think why not use their examples? That's exactly how we could be playing that. So instead of kind of fighting face-to-face, smashing each other, just go on the side lane somewhere a little bit more. Take a vertical off angle and fight. Yeah, you did get this as well, did that kill, but you can do that with less resources, and maybe your ultimates will be saved for the next fight, just in case,
Right.
because you have a high opportunity to get kills. But now when we smashing face to face, especially the Samafrost, you see it's gonna be difficult. You have to move away, block, 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 move away. But we could be even trying to just use this part, we sustain, and then afterwards, well, you kind of will have to maybe peek side A and be careful about your HP. But yeah, anyway, you can be attacking the same area with your team just by holding those good angles. Okay. Probably should be fine, though. It seems that you guy is gonna get enough big advantage because of the the ultimate mechanics. I think it all makes sense. The way you use that, you use it to establish the advantage. I think so far what we watched with ultimate, it looks fine. Mechanically looks fine as well. The resource management, yeah. It's just positioning. I would start with that probably, and would be really good. So this way you can do much more on the map. Okay, let's see. What about the next fight? Okay, so we got pretty confident getting the objective here. Okay, where could you be right now?
On the top right, there's a little
Yeah.
spot you can be at.
Yeah, just go to Pride, exactly. Just go there, push those guys away, and then you can try to drop with your E if you want to. This can be a really good start. Okay, establish the pressure, build the advantage. After that, you can drop. Okay. A lot of times that might feel like, and people will ask you, yeah, maybe you should frontline, but in reality, not. You shouldn't be frontlining. It's more how we absorb pressure. If you're absorbing pressure in a good way, then your team survives, and you don't have to absorb pressure while sitting with your team. You can just create your own pressure, and this way, the attention goes to you. Like, we'll see at the high tier, whenever the angles are taken, the enemy team will try to challenge you, I think. And this is what you will see maybe the enemy team will do. Yeah, what they will try. Yeah, Doctor Strange trying to push them. By the way, really good play as well. Remix, the top 500 as well. They're trying to push them out. Or maybe there's somebody else. Maybe Hala, they also like this angle. Because if they don't take it, then eventually your team, they build extra advantage because of the position you got. That's how I would view that. Okay, so all of this so far, any questions? Does all of that make sense? It seems like you guys are kind of confidently rolling the enemy. Maybe it's, again, based on how we use the ultimates, the mechanics looks fine too, but yeah, does it make sense?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. What we can be doing, two things. I think we can look at another replay, maybe get more examples what we could be doing on other maps as well, because the principles are the same. Just can apply that to the other map, or we can even try to do a live game, just try to use the angles a little bit more. What do you prefer?
Gotcha. I do have another replay. I only played Magneto there. Let me see.
Oh. If possible, Doctor Strange. Maybe if you're fine, we can also try to do a live game, just try to apply that, because this is what I see so far. The positioning to can.
Yeah, we can do a live game. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try to stream and
Of course.
Okay, let me try where's practice range. Okay, let me just make sure that it's watchable. I haven't ever tried to stream Rivals on Discord, so.
Oh yeah, of course. Just make sure you keep the low quality. Should be okay. I think you will not get any lag. Yeah, I think the quality is fine on the stream. And
Okay,
yeah, the
gotcha.
shadow details, everything.
Is that all fine?
I mean, for me, it's watchable. If you feel like it's fine on your end, then we can try to do the game.
Yeah, it feels fine.
Okay.
And I'm on 150 FPS. Yeah, it should be good. Okay.
Okay, let's do that. Let's just try to use vertical off angles. I want you to take advantage of the shift and UTP a little bit more. Let's just try this out.
Okay.
It might feel a little bit awkward at the start. That's what a lot of people get at, because we practicing new things. Yeah, you learning new principles. Maybe you might lose the game. There's higher chance because you're implementing something new. But once you do that more and more, you're able to implement that consistently. It's gonna be noticeable results at the end. Okay, so we're gonna be using shift, taking those power positions, and after that, you're gonna be using power positions by using your E, I think. This is how we would do that, yeah? Take the position, build the advantage, build your E, and then afterwards you can drop. And you can even go back up, because probably you're gonna get your shift back. So, it's not just sitting there. Okay.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match?
Oh, this map should be alright, should be alright. Let's see how everything's gonna go.
Are we here to actually try, guys, or are we just here to have fun?
There's so much like trolling in this elo, by the way. Like,
But I'd like to try.
Well, that's alright. Again, as long as we have the skill set of the rank you want to get in, doesn't matter to us. You will get
yeah,
through
no,
the troll elo.
yeah, I
You guys wanna ban
understand
Rocket?
that. There's no.
No.
I've always found it funny when people in league say like, "Oh, I'm the rank I am because of my teammates." But as long as you're not the one that's playing poorly, just mathematically, there's only 4 other teammates you can
Yes.
have. The enemy team has 5 players, right? So
Yeah, yeah, and they're
More
playing the
likely
same
they
way.
have
They
both.
have the same SR as your teammates do. So, so mathematically, we should be okay. Exactly, that's a good mindset to have. When I was grinding, I always solo queue the best way. We just get randoms, but on average, it's just the same SR. Just practice, get better skill set, and it's gonna be alright. Yeah. Well, back in the days, I also been playing tank a lot too, in Overwatch, and well, Marvel Royals now I've been able to play as well. For the most part, I'm coaching, but yeah, it's it's still mostly tanking. Okay, let's see. How is everything gonna be? Okay, we're just gonna try to see this map, maybe try out the TP thing, yeah?
yeah,
like
this is the one that I was saying that I like to TP on.
Yeah, exactly. You can try this out, and why? It's not only to your teammates, but it's also for you. If you notice your teammates not taking the TP, just make sure you take it later, so you can sync the pressure with them if they go in main. That's it. Because you, generally speaking, can ask them to
I'm
TP.
gonna play some portal team.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you guys ready for a portal?
Perfect. This is fine. Yeah, if they taking the TP, there's even better. If not, that's okay. Don't worry. Just make sure you sync with all those guys, and we'll be okay. Okay, let's see. That's a good spot. Okay, and we start building an advantage. Yeah. Just try to build your E, and from once you have it, you kind of can get more aggressive, basically. Yeah, just try to shoot the squishies if possible. Right.
Man. Okay, it is a little choppy, but
That's alright. I think just one more try. Maybe you can try to walk normally. That's okay as well. Maybe there's no verticality to take initially, but still find this kind of extra off angle you can take later on. I think this first choke might be difficult, but still, maybe find the options where you will be going with the ship. But yeah, try to build the E first. Hey, one of your team is dead, but you can still try to maybe get somebody. If you do, then you can push base of that. Okay, good. It's even. So we can keep pushing and finding the advantage. Okay, I want you to try to use side lanes more. See the way you walk in? You kind of walk face to face, and the thing is smashing you. Okay, so I want you to try to not go forward, but try to go left or right, if possible. So kind of use side lanes more. Okay. So see, yeah, exactly. This is what we gotta be taking advantage of first. Side lanes, and then afterwards you can do something else. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my aim is a little off because it's
Don't worry.
like my FPS is fine, but it's a little choppy with the stream. But
Yeah,
we're good. We're
no,
good.
no worries. I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're not paying attention to the aim. I just want you to make sure that you consistently set up those angles a bit
I
more.
gotcha.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
alright. Yeah, side lanes more, and we fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, a little bit difficult there because of the just the pressure
Yeah, they have
here.
double very
Yeah.
strong brawl.
Yeah, exactly. The hog is kind of can also be that category. They will try to go after you, but the thing, yeah, you usually don't want to exactly fight face to face. Just try to go in the side lanes if you can. Okay. Okay.
That shot me really far. What the
No,
heck?
yeah. This is really good. If you challenge that, make sure you build based off that and kind of stay, build, and then maybe you can try to drop later if needed. But yeah, you need to resustain. Once you have your resources, you kind of can fight. Mm-hmm. Most of
Oh
your
man,
HP
I'm
is
used to
needed.
doing.
Yep.
I'm used to doing with a cloak and dagger player, not having a Jeff and Luna. This is.
Yeah. Alright. That's looking decent, okay. You can use your, yeah. Okay, that's fine,
Ooh.
it's fine. Yeah, I would just say, can you use your shift reposition just in case, but yeah, it's okay. It's just usually when you low on resources, you want to be more careful. It's most of your HP is missing,
Right.
it's gonna be more difficult. You need to regain it. Okay, mm-hmm.
A portal backup. I could look to. I think there's
Mm-hmm.
a spot behind them. Looks like we might. Oh, we have ult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're just gonna take it.
I just want you to simply kind of set up, and then afterwards you use that position when you have most of your resources ready. So it's your E and whatever defense of your HP, and that's it. So see, you got everything, you just need to build your E from there. So you just build an E, build an
Gotcha.
E, and then
Okay.
afterwards you can drop, maybe. Or if you realize this position is not good, take a different one. That's okay. Yeah, try to think where you can... Yeah, this is decent. I like it. Okay. And we're building the advantage from there. Okay, well, I actually need to... Yeah, that's alright. You guys got big ultimate there. Okay. That's looking fine. I like the side lane as well. Notice how they divert... The attention is really going to be diverted towards you. This is nice. You always can do that if possible. This is something I want to be careful. This is a little bit face-to-face feels. If you do that, there's going to be good reason why. It's usually...
Right.
You need to build an advantage first when you're pushing really
Okay.
deep on the main lane. Yeah, that's alright. But it's good if you start on this kind of sides a little bit more, so divert the attention and kind of live. If they start shooting you, you use your shield, you can try to
Okay.
resustain, build your E. Yeah. This is fine. Just shoot the squishies for the most part, yeah. Mm-hmm. We're good. Yeah, we okay.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, Luna. Mm-hmm. It's
I need to
fine.
kill that.
Make sure you move to this. Okay, yeah, it's you gotta resustain for now. They got a little bit too much of an advantage there. You can always experiment with the lanes too. Yeah, maybe start with the left, later on you can try to take right. That is also okay, because you're just making this other brawl tanks, like the thing, for example, chase you, and if they chase you, then they're not fighting face-to-face with the rest of your team. That's alright. That's your job, to divert the attention. Exactly. Hmm.
He's ulting.
Okay. This is good. Yeah, I like that you lean towards the right side lane, Lil. Yeah. That's exactly how we do that. Your first safety tool is always this kind of positioning to the sides and making sure you have line of sight, though. Yeah. From here, this might be a little bit difficult, this section. Okay.
Oh.
So, you did stun too, actually, but yeah, that's... It's alright, it's alright. Your Punisher is doing some work too after your ultimate. That's okay. It's also you notice when you solo tank and you kind of need to live a little bit more. It'll make sense. Just let your DPS do damage. So make sure you. I like you being aggressive. Just make sure you do it with at the right time and be ready to resustain quickly. You just kind of go in, and then you need to stop a little, stabilize because you need to let your DPS do damage. In this case, they had to have 2 tanks, so you have more damage output. Just make sure you kind of live a little bit. Really good angle. Yeah, good angle can establish an advantage from there. Yeah. Just find the squishes. Push them out. Push them out. Yeah. So that's alright. Sustain. Okay. See, this is really good as long as you're able to sustain when most of your HP is gone. Basically, this is how you go about that. Okay. This is good. Now just clean the point, and it should be fine. Nice. Okay, just a little bit more careful with how aggressively you push. Yeah, you can push in, but then once most of your resources are gone, especially your HP, I want you to pay attention to that. Just make sure you resustain by going towards the cover afterwards. Yeah, side lanes as well, you can do that.
Yeah,
You have more
gotcha.
DPS, so it's fine. Yeah, just let them do damage more. Yeah, other than that, it's okay. Yeah, it's looking good. You'll get used to it. I think the angles will definitely do take those quite a lot. Yeah, you will notice the quality of the angles. Later on, you also improve with that, but this is a good start. Always try to challenge for those positions. Build an advantage, and then later you can drop to main. Yeah, you can drop in the squishy. Always.
Right, gotcha.
This first checkpoint, there are no too many good spots to stand, but you at least can use the side lanes a little bit more. So if they're pushing you, you're not exactly going towards the objective like a lot of people do. Because if you do, then they smash you, they smash the rest of your team, right? But if you go to the sides, then they have to chase you so your team can do damage. So they're not getting abused by the thing or the others, the Hulk, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Just kind of absorbing attention. And you see, the good thing is, if they're not paying attention to you, if they go towards your team, then they can kill their backline because you're on the
Yeah,
side
then I'll have
lanes.
damage on them.
Yeah, this is how you do that. You need to trade the backlines most of the time. As a good tank,
Portaling?
maybe. If they do, then...
No,
Oh.
they're not.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. We got one, got res out. Just kind of build an advantage from there. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Okay, this is nice. If you can, try exactly shoot the squishies if you're in range. This is an interesting spot for sure. I like that. If you can just divert the attention. See this thing? They just so busy, maybe sometimes looking at you. But you can build an advantage and try to maybe even try to... Yeah, exactly. Use your E and drop. Ideally, you hit the squishies. This is nice.
Afraid that if I dropped on their healers there, I would have died.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be too far. The Adam, though, the Adam was closer. If you saw they've been walking with the thing. I think you did hit them too. I'm not too sure, but... Yeah. So whoever is closer to you, that's convenient to hit. But if they're far, then no. We obviously don't want to... Okay, side lanes if you can next time. Just be careful. Yeah. Just make sure you kind of walk in. Yeah. This is good. Your supports, just make sure they see you. Yeah, they see you, and you're good. Yeah. See, the thing is walking. Okay, my team can live on the main. Careful. Inside the room, careful. Okay. I like it. Okay, almost.
Oh,
That was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
cool down.
That was good holding the sides though, and you exactly had the line of sight in your support too. It's just, yeah, a little bit more patience there maybe, and it's fine, I think. But it's alright though. Okay, let's see what we got. Well, got our ultimate. Oh, nice pick. Okay, if you can get there, yes, and with... I think where you're moving next, because it might be a little bit tough if you're too separated.
Oh,
Yeah. It's usually fine if you can, for example, here, if it would take the stop left, then this can be the side lane. It's kind of going, and then you exactly, yeah, so we didn't have just a little bit extra meters, and it would
Yeah.
be just perfect. And that's all right.
Am I playing out of line of sight of my healers? I feel like
Just a little bit, yeah. You wanna watch
Okay.
out for that too. You for now we didn't pay attention to it as much, right? But this is how we build the good habits. You just start with something, then afterwards you can try to also look at the line of sight more. Because yeah, this is also important for sure. You need to be in line of sight. Sometimes if you notice that you're trying to take side lanes and you're not in line of sight, then yeah, you need to just try to play main in this case. But most of the time, if the map allows you, then do that. I think this third point,
Right.
this is where, when you're gonna be inside this cave, sort of this little thing, you might find yourself playing in the main a lot, unless they go on the left side or right. Yeah. Okay, it's 1-for-1. Think how can you use your ultimate there as well, maybe later. For now, it's kind of equal. Oh. This is nice, we can get them. Okay. That's alright, that's alright.
Was my Jeff shooting the enemy and not me?
Yeah, I think they tried to, yeah, they probably tried, yeah, they tried to get a kill. That's alright though. You guys can resustain. Just keep shooting the squishes, use the sides, and you will be okay. Nice. You also got the Invis ultimate up. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you can shoot their support, that would be really, really good. Somehow. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit tough there. That's okay. That's okay. You see, it's a lot about when you back up as well. They have better time now, but I think it's still doable. When you back up, you can always think, what is that next area you back up to? Usually, there is gonna be some sort of piece of cover, some sort of good lane you can walk towards, and kind of prepare your disengagement there. There's kind of thinking 2 steps ahead, because we did talk about the lanes, yeah, so it's easier. Because otherwise, if we just walk backwards, only backwards might be the thing. Is just will outbrawl us. It might be difficult. And yeah, muting
They
the teammates is
they-
fine too, because they're talking a lot then.
Well, they weren't saying anything useful. Yeah, they were just. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Well, you can actually try out the TP if you want, but make sure you build an advantage first before dropping to actually. You kind of need to play slower in a way. You can try to even just drop, but then go back with your shift towards verticality again, kind of bait the enemy to go on a point, but yeah, make sure you're just slower. It should be alright. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind the backup options, where you go next. Okay. Okay, let's see. That's fine, we're just there to implement the ideas anyway. Doesn't matter, win or lose later on, the more you play, the easier it's gonna be, to be honest. Okay.
Yeah, I understand the concept and I can see that it's working. I'm just not super used to it, so it's
Yeah, that's fine. That's
a
fine.
little awkward.
Yeah, it's the more you try, the easier it's gonna be. Really, it's okay. That's fine. Build an advantage from there. Maybe kind of build your E, drop on their backline, and then afterwards it's gonna be fine. If they challenge you, this is exactly what you want. Just make sure you kind of able to resustain and attack with the rest of your team after. Careful, your teammates. Yeah. They're not okay.
No one went through the portal.
Yeah, it's fine. You see, this times when they don't go, you just need to sync with the rest. If they push main, just make sure they also push, and then you kind of go in. That's alright though. Okay, try to see where we can go the sides. But you need to touch the point as well. Last seconds, 1 second. Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. It's just those times there are a lot of exceptions. Usually not is when there's a high kill opportunity. Maybe you have to touch the point. Then yes, we would play main, but other than that, it's just fight for power spots like you try to do with DP. But you will get used
Right.
to it. It's the timing you wait, the survivability, how we manage our resources. We'll get to it later
Yeah,
too. Mhm.
I think I need to focus a lot more on being in the line of sight of my healers.
Yes.
Although I think my Jeff is maybe not doing the greatest. He has 0 assists actually. He has no assists.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. That's all right. We'll try our best. Let's see.
It happens.
Yeah, that happens.
Maybe he wasn't on Jeff the whole time. It was someone else, I guess.
Maybe. Actually, yeah, I didn't see.
Yeah,
Got
'cause
one
25,
disconnect
22
too. That happens.
Is it ever worth to portal their spawn?
Well, it can be if you really coordinate. This can work, but
I see.
you also need to have more brawl comp too. If you do that, if you
Yeah.
have more poke style, then might be not the best idea because they
Yeah,
just
like,
will
we have
outroll
Moon
you.
Knight and Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to do early damage, and then later on you can let it go to the side lane a little bit more. For now, this is fine. There's no side lane to take, so you kind of play main, but at the same time, you think, where could he go next? So it's left, right, kind of, while using cover. Cover is important there. Yeah, exactly. You see this right side, does still you leaning towards the right lane if you do that. Yeah. That's fine. Careful around this cover. It's fine. If you're able to shoot that backline, care. Don't have resources. Okay. You see from there, this is what's tricky about that. Is as soon as you see you have HP, you need to find a way to resustain and just don't push.
See.
But try to maybe go on the lane a little bit back and then repush afterwards. That's just managing the resources for sure. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's still a decent game with taking angles. You'll get used to it. I think exactly like I said, the biggest thing is when you do that, let's try to the next time you focus on your resources. Yeah, just keep the HP and line of sight in mind. It's gonna work the best way possible, I think. So you know where you can stay, what kind of lanes you can take, and should be alright. And we keep the fighting for those power positions. I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah, let's actually summarize. What do we got out of this so far? What do you need to work on based on our
Well,
session?
one, when I take side angles here, I have to pay more attention to my healers, like where they're at. Because like that last fight when I died to the thing, I think I was behind a wall and they couldn't heal me.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
it's
that
tricky.
box is between
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, you will see. Okay, you will see. Sometimes you can be not in line of sight of your healers for some time, but make sure you're able to resustain and get in their line of sight by the time you use most of
Right.
your defensive abilities. I usually put it this way: if you realize that most of your shield will be gone, but you will not get in line of sight of your support, that is wrong position usually. But that right side, if we use the shield earlier, use our HP as well, and kind of walk on the lane a little bit backwards, try to sustain, I think this can work just fine. Or yeah, I think just all side of maps, you'll usually notice any sort of cover, really. Sometimes if you're not able to be on the sides, then at least make sure you have cover, even though you're in the middle, and you're okay.
I think I do find myself a lot just walking through main and
Yeah.
just like, I guess just like purely brawling.
Yeah.
And I'm sure sometimes that's okay if like the enemy, I don't even know what the comp would have to be. Like if they had no tank maybe, but yeah, I do see the power of being in the side because even if they turn to focus on me, like I'm still doing my job. And if they don't
Yeah.
focus me, then I can just kill their backline as
Yeah,
well.
this is how ideally it should look like. Yeah, this is what I always say. That's how you peel for your support too, because you establish your
Okay.
pressure. This is works the best way. Obviously, there are also times when you have to directly go back and help out our support, but for the most part, this is how it looks like. Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
Let's try to focus on all of that. Let's just call it, well, we've been focusing on map control with you today. It's usually the topic we start with the most of these students. Okay, we did Doctor Strange. That is nice. I think for the next time, what we can be doing